Cyberpunk 2077 is releasing this week, and for the longest time we have been talking about the core components, with customizing your character, picking a life path, going through the introduction of that life path, getting into Night City, then carrying on with the main plot. But surrounding the plot is all of these other side activities and side quests that you can participate in, which will give you more information about the world of Cyberpunk and its lore, as well as it should also be very entertaining to go through. So in this video we are going to be going through some of the types of quests that have been revealed so far, as well as also some of the side activities that you can do within Cyberpunk. Before I do get into the video, if you do want to see me streaming this game when it is released this week, then there is a link in the description down below which will take you over to the Twitch channel. I will definitely be taking the time out of my playthrough to go through some of these side activities as well as some of the side quests. So if that is of interest to you, there will be a link in the description down below which will take you over to the Twitch stream. Head over to there, drop a follow, and you'll be notified the second these streams start going live. But getting back into the video, CD Projekt Red have always been good at designing quests. They got a lot of compliments with what they did within The Witcher 3. And good news for Cyberpunk 2077 is that the same system that they put within The Witcher 3 is going to be used within Cyberpunk 2077. They even went on to say that The Witcher 3 was a great warm-up in terms of quest design, and now with Cyberpunk they're going all in. So for the players that did play The Witcher 3, they're now getting very excited for what's up next. So let's go through some of the ways which have been revealed so far in which you can get side quests within Cyberpunk. The first way is by getting quests from your local fixer. Fixers are the well-connected fencers, smugglers, and information brokers who apply their trade on the black market. And as fixers are well connected to the commons and going on the streets, they can locate, acquire, and know about a desired person, place, or thing within that area of operation. So whenever there's any type of job, the fixers will be the first to know and they can actually dish that out to you. When you are close to an activity, you will receive additional details about the requested task, including its recommended level, and this will allow you to see that level, the difficulty of the quest that's been given to you, check your level and see if you're still willing to do it. At the beginning of the game you'll have a very low rank within Street Cred, but as we have already gone through the progression systems and Street Cred before on this channel, I'll leave a link in the description down below, as well as there'll be a card on screen right now if you want to go and watch that video. But just as a quick recap, every time you do a side mission you will be rewarded with Street Cred. That Street Cred will go into a rank. Every time you rank up you can unlock more content, which also includes different side missions within the world. So as you build your rep up, you'll get more advanced missions coming from your fixer. The next way to get side missions is by listening to the Night City Police Department scanner. These are basically tasks put out by the Night City Police Department that anyone can take on, and this is to focus on various kinds of criminal activity that needed addressing. So this is very similar to what would happen to the fixer. If you're close to an activity, you'll get an alert from the NCPD scanner. The only difference is this time you're on the other side of the law, and this comes down entirely to you which side of the law you want to play on. Whilst we're on the subject of law, this takes us to our next area where we can get different types of side missions. And this is about tracking down bounties, whether you bring them in dead or alive. From what I've read about bounties, these are separate from the NCPD scanners, and it's not the case where you go to a local police department to pick up a local bounty poster. It actually sounds more about having a benefit from one of the pieces of cyberware that you buy into. So what people that have already played the game have said is that you'll have to buy into an eye scanner, so you can actually scan civilians whilst roaming around Night City. And while scanning civilians you can find out different information about them, including whether or not there is a bounty on their head. If they do have a bounty, that's when you have the option to pursue it or just let them carry on walking. Now this sounds like it won't be available to you right at the beginning of this game. It does sound like you need to invest within a scanner. We don't even know what scanner this is. It could be the Kuroshi Eye Scanner Mark I, which was shown within the 48-minute gameplay trailer back in 2018, but we have to remember that this was back in 2018 and since then a lot of stuff has changed. So it could be this one exactly, it could be an upgraded version, or it could be something completely different. So this is something where we'll just have to wait for the release until we know exactly how to do it. But bounties do play a part within the side missions within Cyberpunk. The next area where we can get missions is just from random people in the streets, and this can vary to a number of different activities that they have. Some players have talked about going to the gym and finding a coach who's willing to go and put you in an underground fight club. It's entirely up to you whether or not you accept this or reject it. There's also been situations where you're just driving around and all of a sudden you'll hear gunfire with people just running away from it. This has also escalated to the point of where there's been a full-on explosion with people running away from it. And it's entirely up to you whether or not you interact. There's also been situations where you could do a main story mission, build up a working relationship with another character, and they will send you to their acquaintance to finish a job as they now trust you. And as you're now meeting that acquaintance, they would offer you side missions to complete after you've done your current mission. These side missions come in all different shapes and sizes. Each one has a different story and requires you to do something different. CD Projekt Red have said when talking about these side missions that they've designed them with the Cyberpunk lore in mind. So if you want to learn more about the world, there's no better place than the side missions. What's also very cool, and I think I might actually have to do a playthrough with this all in mind, is that once you do get within Night City and complete the introduction, you can just do side missions. And this would actually let you complete the game without you having to do any of the main story missions. And with Cyberpunk being a game that has multiple endings, this is definitely a path that I'm very curious about. Moving on from the side missions, we have side activities. We've learned of a couple so far, but the likelihood that there's more is very high. It's just that CD Projekt Red are keeping them quiet so that they can surprise us with the release when Cyberpunk is out. So first off, we have boxing. This is where you get to fight a bot, and they're placed all over Night City in different gyms. This is a place where you can actually train against a bot without knocking anyone's teeth out. We also know about racing. Racing is the side activity that has been highlighted the most. There will be a couple different races to participate in across Night City and the Badlands. Some of these races will be point to point, going through checkpoints, but other ones aren't your normal races. It will require you to use different weapons to take out your opponents. Another activity that has been shared is going to the shooting range. This is a side activity that you can do to improve your gun wielding skills. Go to your local gunsmith and use one of your weapons to train yourself. And finally, the last one that's been talked about is hacking. This one hasn't been talked about as much as the other ones, but we do know that hacking plays a massive part within the Cyberpunk universe, and to strengthen this skill, you would need to participate within the hacking side activity. All of the side activities that CD Projekt Red have added to Cyberpunk are activities there to help you improve your skills in a certain area. So we have boxing, which improves your fighting, we have racing, which improves your driving capabilities and also your weapon wielding. You also have the gunsmith, which also improves your weapon wielding. Then you also have hacking, which improves your hacking. You can then use those skills to carry on going into side activities and carry on progressing, or you can use them within side missions or even main missions. And those four are the only side activities that we know about so far. But there will be more, it's just CD Projekt Red are keeping them locked down right now as they're preparing for the release of Cyberpunk. This is the type of thing that you'll come across within the world and you'll be surprised by what you can actually do. These side activities are also broken down into other variations of themselves. So for example, the most talked about activity is racing. You can get different races across the whole of Night City and the Badlands, which involve different categories of cars. Some will just be point A to point B as fast as you can, others will go through checkpoints and laps, and then others will just be death races. So it'll be fair to say that the other categories being boxing, shooting range, and also hacking will also be broken down into different variations of themselves. But anyway guys, these are the different side missions as well as side activities that you can do within Cyberpunk if you're not really wanting to go through the main missions. Normally within free roam games, I like to have side activities to do, but I'm not actually excited to get into them. It's just something extra to do on the side whilst I was just going through the story missions. But with CD Projekt Red's reputation with creating different side quests, as well as also reading up on as much lore as possible before the release, I'm actually very excited to see the different stories that are available within these side missions. So I will be taking time out of my main playthrough to go and see what these side missions have to offer. And also once I do finally complete the game after my first playthrough, I will be doing another playthrough at some point where I just go through side missions to get a completely different ending. So that is definitely something that I'm looking forward to. If you do want to see me doing that live on stream, then as said at the beginning, there is a link in the description down below which will take you over to the Twitch channel. Head over to there, drop a follow, and you'll be notified the second these Cyberpunk streams start going live. December is going to be an absolutely crazy month. We're going to be spending a lot of time over there creating content, as well as there's going to be a lot of time spent over here on the YouTube channel also creating content. So it will be a hectic month, but it should also be a very entertaining month. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going. So see you.